Okay, my friends, as you know, this is Roger, Mudfossil University, and I never come to the table without evidence. Now, this is Caleb Lack, a PhD. Now, he is a psychologist, and he specializes in trying to make people understand why they think what they think, and if they think what they think is correct. And let's listen to what he has to say, but because I got a feeling. Well, let me show you what I sent him, and then I'll show you what he says he is capable of doing. Now, I just sent this to him just 18 hours ago, it says. And I said, hello, sir. I saw your presentation on beliefs and have some information. This is DNA on mud fossils, which are soft tissue fossils. Some are giant humans. I have had DNA, CAT scans, anatomist chemistry, and want your opinion as you claim expertise in beliefs against facts. Because that's what his expertise is. What is belief and what is facts, and how do we determine that? Now, so I said, please contact me. I'm putting up a video about this right now, and this is a 3-foot wide human hand. I have other parts as well. I have much more, and I sent him the video of it, and I said thank you. Oh, I guess that's the DNA reports. I said thank you so much. I could tell the sincerity in your voice, and this is hard info to accept, but your method, scientific method, he says, will tell correct or not. So this is a short video of the process of fossilization. I said respectfully, and then I sent him the human hand, and so that's the hand, which we all know about that now. It's DNA certified. I sent him this DNA test. And I also sent him some of these bones that are just, you know, oh, I guess this is the video about all the different stuff and all the different, you know, tests and all the things we did. Anyway, so now let me show, and then this is the DNA test. Now let me show you what he claims to be capable of understanding about beliefs. And then let's see how he responds to this, because I'm finding that my mother was the nicest person on the face of the planet, and she always used to say, do as I say, not as I do. And that's what happens now. Do as I say, not as I do. I love you, Mom. I won't be long. This is where this can happen.
Your maker, you were made to meet your maker.
Wake your soul. Okay, this goes back quite a while. This is 7 years ago, but he's got 303,000 subscribers. Caleb Lack. Now he's the one that's talking about how, you know, bias and the brain. And now I saw a video, and I think it's either in this or will be in another one, that shows the brain lights up in an area that displays disgust if you're anti-religious, when you read religious texts, and it doesn't light up as disgust at all if you are what would be considered a religious person. Now they consider them religious fanatics because they believe in God, and if you don't believe in God, then you are a normal person to them. Now this guy here, I don't know what his beliefs are at all, but I do know that the way he sounds is that he's going to rationalize people's beliefs away. That's the way I took it. You see the way you think, but here goes.
I think, you know, the big question is, why do you believe certain things? You know, why do you believe in Allah versus Jesus, or why do you believe in alternative medicine versus conventional medicine? And a lot of it has to do with what you're exposed to, as well as a number of biases that we as humans have that sort of colors the information we receive from the world. A large portion of it's geography, right? So if you're born in Oklahoma, you're much more likely to become a Christian than you are a Hindu, simply because everyone else around you is a Christian. But in terms of the specifics of our beliefs, they're very, very highly driven by, you know, what we're imprinted with early. So, you know, those people that are around us, as well as the fact that we naturally, as humans, seem to have these pieces built into our brain that want us to believe things that are not necessarily backed up by the evidence. There's been some very, very interesting research over about the last 15 years or so that has cleverly shown that children, I'm talking here under 2 years old, seem to be naturally wired to believe in things that are not necessarily actually there. And that certainly helps contribute to our belief in supernatural things later in life. I think one of the things that you have to do if you're trying to help other people see that maybe what it is that they are thinking is not necessarily accurate is you don't go up to them and say, hey, you're wrong. That's a completely wrong thing to do, and we actually know that from research, is it's called psychological reactance. And I'll just say, hey, screw you, I'm double right now. So instead what you have to do is you have to help them understand, why is it that I believe these things and why is it that you believe what you believe? I'm a huge fan of the scientific method. I think one of the best things that our culture has produced over the last 400 years is the scientific method. And the reason is because what the scientific method does is it takes all of these biases, all these heuristics that we're naturally prone to, and it helps to eliminate them. It helps to control for all the things that we as humans naturally do so that we don't fool ourselves. And that's the key to any sort of real understanding of things, is not just, oh, well, here's my evidence for it. It's, well, here's my unbiased evidence for it. For me personally, it's about seeing the world as it is, not as I want it to be. And I think the world would be a much better place if all of us were trained in how to think critically, in how to think rationally, in how to logically examine questions, and not just find what I want to believe, which is what we do naturally, but find what actually is, or what actually isn't, so that you do so in an unbiased way.
Excuse me. Well, he is a PhD, and they are considered the authorities. Now, I have found it's just exactly the opposite. Now, that is confronting him in a way that he would consider to say, screw you, which is exactly what they have all said, regardless of however the evidence is presented. So I did present him with these particular specimens, and I'm waiting for a response. And he may be perfectly willing to respond as a PhD learner or somebody that's going to show me the scientific method. So far, I have seen none of that. Let's see how whatever his name is. Anyway, we'll see how he ends up. All right, so anyway, you saw what I sent him. I sent him a video about it. I sent him the DNA reports, and I sent him a picture of this hand. Now, and I can explain all this stuff extremely well. And, whoops. This is something I'd like to discuss with him. And again, I'm being respectful. I haven't been treated well by academia, and specifically PhDs. So I do come to this with a little bit of an attitude. But I'm hoping that somebody sooner or later will engage in the reality of like this bias against beliefs. So we'll see. Okay, this is absolutely amazing. I was just getting ready to do this video, and I got a response from somebody who I highly respect, who is a very accomplished PhD, extremely well respected, and has an enormous group. And Rima, I thank you for your response, my good friend, and I hope we can continue this dialogue. And I do have a lot to offer, and you seem to have an open mind, which is, I got to be honest with you, I don't see a lot of them in the PhD realm. I am very, very impressed. And I'm highly, I want to engage. Because somebody with your abilities is what I need. Because they put me up against what they call peer review, you know about that. And nobody will do it because I'm a little outside of the norm, so to speak. All right? I love you all. Thank you.